I'm going to come in with a controversial take here and just say that I reckon Heinrich Brussow's season of 2009 was the greatest season from an open-side flanker that I have seen in my 25 years of watching rugby, which is even more ironic because Richie McCaw won World Player of the Year that year, and I don't even think he was the best flanker in the world. Give it to him, give it to McCaw. He could have won World Player of the Year in any year of the noughties. But that 2009 season, Heinrich Brussow was like a freaking cheat code. The guy was unbelievable. He was so good that World Rugby changed the breakdown laws so that the tackler couldn't jackal in the same movement, and he had to release the player before playing the ball. Now, they should have just renamed this rule the Brussow law, because honestly, he had turned this tackle jackal coming in from all kinds of angles into an art form. He'd hit the tackle and re-enter from anywhere, from the gate, from the side, from angles that looked completely wrong. Because back then, if you made the tackle, you could bounce back up and go straight for the ball from any angle. No pause, no clear release, no daylight. And Brussow had mastered that window. What looked illegal, what looked impossible, what was absolutely technically perfect. This was his party trick. And even if it was only mainly for one season, it's insane to me how this guy isn't down in the books with all of the greatest open-side flankers of the modern era. Just for his performance in the Lions series alone. Like you have to remember that Brussow wasn't even in the original Springbok squad for that Lions series. It was only after his performance for the Cheetahs against the Lions in one of the tour games that the noise started to get really loud for his inclusion. And you can hardly be surprised. Look at these turnovers here. This is where the world really started to notice who this kid was. And sure enough, Skolkberger gets injured before the first test and Brussow gets called into the squad. Now, he has a decent game in this first test where the Springboks are ultimately pretty dominant. He scores a try, he's a general nuisance around the park. But it's the second test that's the real story here. Well, Skolkberger comes back from injury, Brussow goes to the bench, and what unfolds is one of the most violent bloodbaths that the game of rugby union has ever seen. From Skolkberger's eye gouging a Luke Fitzgerald, to Bucky's Borter dislocating Adam Jones's shoulder, to Danny Rousseau getting KO'd by Brian O'Driscoll. This game was just all-out violence. But generally speaking, and a lot of people forget this, the Lions, with 19 minutes to go, are ahead by 19 points to 8, and more or less in complete control of the game. But even after seeing him destroy the Lions for the Cheetahs, nothing could prepare me for that 19-minute stint that Brussow put in that second test. He made two really important turnovers. He made a massive hit on Shane Williams, and he threw the last pass to Jacques Ferry for the all-important third try that ultimately put the Boks into the lead and essentially won them the game. Look at the way he's wrestling for that ball, and you can just see the energy in the Springbok camp. I remember as a Lions fan, until he had come onto the field feeling very comfortable that day, feeling that sense of dread as he came onto the field, reminded of his performance for the Cheetahs. There was something poetic about it. The smallest man in the Springbok pack having the biggest impact in the shortest period of time. And whether it's overlooked or just lost in history amongst all of the insane things that happened that day, I don't think the Springboks win that test without Heinrich Brussow, and they may not have even won the series.